young. We're going to have to joke.
Go on.
Say hi to Grandma and Grandpa.
But that way. This way.
The morning of Sunday, the 1st of June, we were due to go out as a family. We were going to Otley Markets. I'd been in the shower, just a normal morning. We were leaving at 10. It got to about 9:10, and I thought, I've not heard from Anja, and that was unusual. She loved her hair and loved her makeup, and I always spent lots of time getting ready, sometimes to my frustration. So I gave her a knock, didn't hear anything, went in her bedroom and sort of started to walk around her bed, because I thought, oh, she's just slept in. And then the further I got round to bed and saw Anja's face, I realised that she'd passed away. Anja was a typical teenager in some respects. She loved her makeup, doing her hair, clothes, and then in other respects she was completely not like a 19-year-old. She was more like a middle-aged woman. She loved to crochet, she loved her old music, she loved the simple things in life, you know, going out for a picnic or just spending time with family. So she was quite an individual person, but just loved by so many. It sounds really cheesy, but she just excelled at being just a wonderful person.
Me and my sister, when we lived in our first house, we had bunk beds, and every year on Christmas I'd go into her top bunk bed, because obviously she had the top, she was her older sister and she wouldn't let me have anything else. So I went into her top bunk bed, and then when we moved houses and we had our own rooms, I was like, I really miss you on Christmas Eve. So I got into her bed that first year, and that started a tradition that every single year I'd get into her bed on Christmas Eve. And I remember when the first year that we moved into the house we're in now, I fell asleep in like 5 minutes, and she woke me up about 2 in the morning and was like, "You asleep?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm asleep. Can you leave me alone? I'm like, it's Christmas Eve. I want to be able to actually sleep." And she was like, "Well, I can't sleep. I can't sleep." I was like, "What do you want me to do about that?" So we stayed in bed all night staring at the door, waiting for our parents to come in, and then we heard them open the door at like 4 in the morning or something, and we both really quickly lay down and were like, shh, shh. Bearing in mind we were like 13 and 15 or something ridiculous.
And everything just sort of turns into a bit of a blur. 2 weeks before, Anja had seen a GP at Kev's work through his private health cover, and we'd taken her because she'd been having heart palpitations. So Kev said, well, we might as well go private, speed things up, and then we'll get to see somebody if it's needed. So the GP had no concerns, said she thinks everything was fine, but because we had this private cover, she would refer Anja to a cardiologist at Huddersfield Private Hospital. So Anja saw him on the Thursday, had a 24-hour heart monitor fit, had that taken off on the Friday morning, which was Isabel's 17th birthday, and had a normal family day, went to the cinema, went out for tea. She had a porn star martini. I still remember what table we sat at the restaurant, and then obviously what happened on the Sunday, and then the consultant received the results on the Monday morning, by which point we'd called, I think, on the Tuesday to let them know that Anja wouldn't be coming, and then explained, and then it sort of all went from there. So Anja's results of the heart monitor was that her heart was just all over the place. He would have got her in sort of really urgently. There were some things as well over the years that we now know were all her body giving us warning signs. So she had what was thought to be a seizure. I think that was about 4 years ago, and they thought she had epilepsy, so it was put down to that. She used to faint all the time. Music concerts, as soon as sort of the beat kicked in, she'd faint, and that's it's a really rare symptom, but it's the electrical current in the heart that's sort of being tricked that can cause to faint. So there were lots of signs over the years, but not anything that would have led to the conclusion that we face as a family. And the consultant even said that even with the results that he saw on that Monday morning, he would never have said this would have happened. We've had lots and lots of tests, and we now know that I have a gene called FLNC cardiomyopathy, which is really rare, really aggressive, and I'm going to need a defibrillator pacemaker fitting inside my chest. That's going to be happening really soon. We've just about raised £37,000 since we set the fund up. We are holding a black tie charity ball that's been held in 2 weeks, and we're on track to raise about between 7,000 and 8,000 from that. We chose CRY because they are a charity that are based down south, and we wanted to first and foremost have a lasting legacy for Anja. We wanted people to carry on talking about Anja and Anja's name, photo to be out there. But secondly, we wanted to make sure that our friends and loved ones and even people in our community were safe and were tested for cardiac conditions.